Hey YouTube, sorry but I got a bad hair day going on, so I'm gonna wear me a wig because I don't feel like doing anything with my hair today. But anyway, this message is for the single black women, you know, the 70% of us who are not married. You know, you all know the statistic, you all heard the statistic. That statistic that 70% of us African American women are single and we're not married. And we see that statistic everywhere. We see it on CNN, MSNBC, OprahWinfrey.com, Oprah Winfrey Show, BET, you know, everybody's talked about it, from Steve Harvey to, you know, Soledad O'Brien. Everybody's talked about the plight of the single black woman, you know. And what that does is that statistic has this kind of negative connotation. What it does is it tells black women, black people, it tells everybody that there's something wrong with us, that, you know, we're single because nobody wants us, we're unworthy. When in actuality, all that statistic is telling me that I'm not married yet. I'm not married today. So that's how I look at that statistic. That statistic is just telling me that I'm not married right now. Just because I'm not married in 2010 doesn't mean that I won't be married in 2012, 13, 14, 15. It just means that I'm not married today. And I'm okay with that. And you should be okay with that. You know? I'm fine with possibly getting married at 40. I'm 32 now. I'm fine with the idea of getting married at 40, 41, or 42. That's no problem with me. But what it is that society placed these fantasies in front of us. You know, we should have the house, the husband, the career, the family by 27. And if by 30 we don't have any of those things, if there's something wrong with us. You know, this is what they tell us. They put this in our head. They constantly knock us over the head with these rules and regulations of how we should live our life. You know, when in actuality, you get married when you want to get married, you know. I might not get married till I'm 50, but that does not mean that I won't get married, you know. So it just kind of annoys me when I hear people say, well, 70% of black women are single in this negative way. Well, that just means that they're single right now. They're not married right now. It doesn't mean that they won't eventually get married, you know. So it's just kind of like a statistic that's just stupid to me. You know, it's like somebody saying, well, 99% of babies can't walk. Well, yeah, duh, they can't walk right now. But give them a couple of months to a couple of years and them little motherfuckers are going to be running everywhere. You know, they can't walk right now, but they'll be walking in the future, you know. And besides, I want to live a little. I want to become this bohemian, nomadic person who travels the earth with just a backpack and a map and just experience different cultures and different foods and different, you know, just different life and talk to different people. So when I do sit down with a husband or with a significant other and we're having conversations, we'll have something more to discuss besides children and bills and America. You know, I don't want to be in a relationship where all I have to talk about is shit that is just right outside my window. You know, I don't want to constantly talk about my community. I don't want to constantly talk about bills. I don't want to constantly talk about my son. I want to be able to sit down with my husband and say, hey baby, listen, you know, 10 years ago before I met you, man, I went to Cambodia and I saw the ancient ruins of Angkor Wat, and I went to, you know, all these ancient places, and it was just a spiritual awakening for me. And, you know, I just want to experience things, you know. I want my husband to be fascinated with me. I want him to love to talk to me, you know. I think that that's more important to me than anything, is that, you know, my husband or my significant other enjoys my company, you know. And I know nowadays you know, people need to be stimulated. You know what I'm saying? It's not like in the olden days where, you know, you can just sit next to your significant other and not say anything, not have any conversation, and then they're still stimulated. I don't want to live like that. I want to have great conversations with my man. So therefore, I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting until I experience things. But in the meantime, I'm not going to be a sourpuss either. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to have this, you know, the one thing that I can't stand to hear is that, you know, well, men are intimidated by strong, independent women. That's why women are single. Get the fuck out of here. Girlfriend, stop that bullshit right there. I mean, who the fuck is intimidated by a loner? You are alone. So who can be intimidated by that? I don't get that. You know, and then, you know, we get to the point where it's just like we're so frustrated with everything so negatively surrounding us that we exude this negativity. You know, we'll say, quick in a flash, I don't need a man. You know, I'm independent. I'm a strong, independent woman, and I don't need a man. You know, when, you know, I understand that. I get that. And you probably don't need a man. You know, but listen, I don't need my computer, I don't need my television, and I don't need my car, but God damn it, life is great with them. Let me tell you, if I didn't have my computer, my TV, or my car, life would be difficult. Life would be different. Life would be challenging. And that's how I look at a man. You know, a man is like a computer. I might not need him, but man, just to have one is fabulous. It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade on your life when you got one. So I would never say, ever say that I don't need a man. I love men. Love men. Love all kinds of men. You know, it's woo. But I'm gonna get off that topic for a minute. But yeah, ladies, 70% of black women aren't married right now, right this minute. That doesn't mean that you won't get married. You know, sometimes it takes longer for your soulmate to find you, and there's billions of people on this planet. You know, you might be sitting in the ghettos of Chicago, and your soulmate could be somewhere in Australia, and it may take a couple years for him to find you, but you have to be sure in yourself that he's gonna find you. You have to believe that he will find you, and he might not find you in a year or in 2 years. It might be 10 years before he finds you, but he will find you. And that's how we should go about this whole single womanhood thing. We shouldn't go into this single womanhood thing into believing that we're single because we're unwanted. We're throwaway people, you know. And then, you know, we have our men that, you know, add on to the stereotype. Well, you know, the reason why black women are single is because they have fucked up attitudes. Well, maybe you just don't know how to bring the best out in her. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's an asshole. It just means that she was an asshole to you. So, we're going to let that be. I'm not going to go into that anymore. But, yes, you're single right now. Doesn't mean you'll be single forever. And you keep that in mind. You keep your chin up. You stay positive. You stay open. You know, you got to stay open. You can't have this attitude that you're too independent for anybody, because what that does is it pushes people away. They think that you don't want them, they won't come to you. So we got to open up and be positive and know that there is someone out there for us, even that 70% of us who are unmarried. So, with that being said, I'm going to go finish getting dressed, decide what I'm going to do with my hair, if I'm going to curl it or if I'm going to throw a wig on. I sure don't feel like curling it, but I got things to do today. I got people to meet, so I'll hopefully be back with you people soon, and you have a lovely weekend.